What's been happening with Alistair Cope? You might well know that we've spoken to Alistair through the last week or so. He is cycling and canoeing from Edinburgh to Exmouth for 3 charities. You can find out more on www.papete.co.uk. Find out all about the charities that he's supporting on that particular website. But let's find out about his progress now, shall we? It's, Bank Holiday Monday. I'm sure you can't help but notice that. Everybody's been telling you it, so you would know that. But it doesn't stop us catching up with Alistair Cope. Hello to you.
Hi, Vic. Hi.
Now, on Friday when we spoke to you on your expedition from Edinburgh to Exmouth, you were, I think, a little down, but have your spirits lifted today?
They've been mixed, yeah. I was a bit down. Actually, today, I've just had the best day ever, actually. Because I had a visit from 3 people up from Devon. My son, his partner, and my partner came up. It was just great. They drove all the way up on Saturday. Saturday. Actually, I'm getting my days mixed up now. Sunday. And it all kind of blurs in this kind of life that I'm leading at the moment. It's
Yeah, I can imagine it does.
Very much so. Sunday they drove up. Let me get this right. Sunday morning they drove up. Maybe yesterday. And but today we've had some wonderful weather. And we stayed at B&B, and that was all very comfortable and a lovely kind of breakfast to begin with. And the sun came out, and it's been great because I've had a couple of really heavy days of getting wet, and even at night time, I had one very dubious camp. I was accused of being a poacher, which is interesting, seeing as I haven't got a fishing rod. But that was an interesting encounter. Camp next to the Trent, which I was in fear that it was beginning to rise a bit too quickly, but again, that was okay. But today's been great. Just been great. Wall-to-wall sunshine.
It's amazing what sunshine can do for you, isn't it?
No, you're not kidding. when you're in a tiny little boat and you're camping, it's the best thing in the world. And it means you can dry everything. Everything is nice and warm, and everyone else is smiling at you instead of being grumpy. And I suppose I got a bit grumpy as well. Soaked.
The great advantage is, of course, you're not stuck on a traffic jam in a motorway, are you? I mean, can you imagine that?
Yeah, that is very true. Actually, I've passed a few massive ones on those, on the A1 and things like that. And you think, well, okay, I'm moving pretty slowly, seeing as I'm only going about 2 miles per hour, but I'm getting somewhere. So, there is an advantage, Vic, yeah.
Yes. Now, you've got over that weekend, which I think, the weather forecast wasn't great, and it turned out not to be great, but I think the weather forecast for the next few days is pretty settled. So, would that help your progress? Does that mean that you can get on quicker?
Yeah, it definitely does. Actually, I wonder if it does, because when it's really grim, I just kind of keep at it. It's nice.
I thought you'd find the nearest pub and sit down and wait.
Okay, you read my mind, actually. I have to say, I have had a couple of pints of cider at lunchtime today, which was lovely. And I felt really at home. It was just great. And you do when the sun's out. I'm much slower at moving, and there's less urgency. And I don't know, do I make better progress? Maybe I don't.
But it just feels better.
It does. It feels better. I think I did a bit of double paddling, so using a kind of conventional paddle today, coming through the Trent. I went past Nottingham Forest football ground.
Oh, right, yeah, of course, yes, absolutely, yeah.
God, stunning ground.
Yes.
Is it Brian Clough Stadium, isn't it?
Well, it's
called that, or I'm not sure.
It's called the City Ground, but there is a Brian Clough stand there, of course. He's right on the river there, absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. That's the stand I saw, and it had Brian Clough on it, and it was right on the river. And I thought, looked really great ground, actually, really ground.
And you were in touching distance of the Trent Bridge cricket ground, and not far from Notts County either. So you have.
There's a lot I could have done.
Nothing going on in either of them, but
no, quite. So I went down to Nottingham, and that felt great. That was like going to York. York was a real highlight for me, going through York. And Nottingham, I have to say, was brilliant. People were lovely. They were all sitting on the banks and cheerful and chatting and wanting to know what I was doing. And I met a few bits as well, because I've not seen any canoeists, which has amazed me. Up until today, I've only seen 1 canoeist. And today I saw, I think, another 5, and then one dad out with his sons, and they were really chatty and nice. And they also, I chatted to them, and I altered my route based on what they told me. So I went up the Trent rather than the canal that goes through Nottingham itself.
Yeah, you also would have gone past the Nottingham Boat Club, which is right on that particular stretch of river as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I did go. I went past a few boat clubs, yes. I did.
Yeah.
Oh, God, you know the area well, don't you, up there?
Well, I've been to Forest Ground quite a few times, and I know the Nottingham Boat Club because this is really sad piece of information for you, but Led Zeppelin finally famously played there on their Back to the Clubs tour back in 1970.
Okay. Well,
so, there you are, a piece of useless trivia for you.
Not at all. That's really good. Okay, I was close to the club. That's my claim to fame.
Indeed so. So, you've gone through Nottingham, which is fantastic. And is that kind of, in your head, is that anywhere near geographically halfway? I mean, I know you've not actually got halfway in terms of time, but is that geographically pretty close to it?
It is. I'm beginning to be slightly spooked by this because that's exactly what we did last night, is to work it out. Your question is very pertinent. I've made it over halfway now as far as kind of mileage and everything is concerned. And also checked with Sebastian, my son, how long it took to drive up, and he said about 4 hours or so, just over. And I know to get to Edinburgh, it was just over 8 hours. So I thought, okay, this is, I'm getting somewhere at long last. And I do. I think once I get past Birmingham, I'm going to really feel that I'm making some progress. I'm a little bit daunted by that because it's it's a very big built-up area. And the other thing I have to say, I have completely missed getting past locks and bridges, and I'm having to accept that I just can't do it. I've just had a stretch up here that I've cycled past because there were 7 locks, one after the other, with about a mile or so distance between each, and it's taking me at times an hour and a half to get past the lock.
Wow.
So I have to unload everything. I think this is what the guys today realise the trouble I've got is you unload everything, then sometimes it's really easy to get past the lock because it's a nice lock like we used to down our way on the Exeter Canal or something. But sometimes they're incredibly complicated, and I've got to walk maybe a couple of 100 yards to get to the next point to get in. So I've accepted that I can't do every bit of water. Sometimes I just have to cycle past a collection of them, which I'm okay about. Initially I was disappointed, but I'm okay about it now, I think.
There's a very interesting bit in Birmingham, of course, which is right in the heart of it, where you have a canal which is a sort of a great meeting of canals, and it goes right past the National Indoor Arena and the Sea Life Centre and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So are you going to do that?
Again, I was chatting exactly about that today. Have you been reading a script somewhere on this? But I said because I'm a big admission now, I'm a Villa supporter.
Oh, fair enough.
And in fact, we'll be going past Bodymore Heath, the training ground on the way in. But the section you're referring to, which I love and I often go to if I've been to a game, actually go down there because they've got a great handmade burger bar and things like that. There's a real place down there. Sadly, I'm not, but I was saying to the guys today, I said, well, maybe I'll just make a little bit of a deviation because I can just more upside and go and get myself one of those fantastic handmade burgers and chips, and that'll keep me going again. So, no, my route doesn't go that way, but I need to. I've got to really find somewhere to stay over there. I can't get through Birmingham in a day. I can. It depends how many locks I do or I haven't really thought. I've got to rethink that one, I think.
Because it is an extraordinary area for canals, isn't it? I mean, the West Midlands is kind of where it all began in many respects, isn't it?
Well, it's huge. The more, I hope this is a correct fact, but I've been told it several times, there are more canals, miles of canals in Birmingham than in Venice. It's an extraordinary place. And when you look at a map of just canals, I'm doing this, and I'm not, okay, I've had some difficult times, but I'm not at all put off. I'm seeing a side of England that I've just never seen before, and I want to come back with more people and do more because it's perhaps not with a bicycle on board, not with but it's an extraordinary area, and you see all the backs of the commercial properties that you wouldn't normally see.
Yes.
So it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
So whereabouts will you spend tonight then?
I tend to do this. I kind of get somewhere and then I kind of hang around and see what goes on. At the moment, there haven't been too many people walking past, so I think I'll give it another hour, and then I'll wait till the sun's a little bit low, and then I'll pitch my tent up here. So I'm right next to the canal. It's a lovely spot, and I don't think I'll be hassled here. I've been hassled on a few camps, but I think it's be okay. I think it's quite nice here. And then I just have to get up early, when I was accused of being a poacher, the guy that came up to me said, "You've got to be off here really early," he said. Okay. So I kind of, I'm just kind of sleeping where I can. Apart from when I grab these odd B&Bs, which have been luxury.
That's the subject. That's the title of your book, though, isn't it? They thought I was a poacher. I mean,
Quite.
that has to be the title of your book.
It's a good start, isn't it? I like that. Okay.
Yeah,
Remind me on that one when I get back.
I will do. Yeah, brilliant. Well, have a good night's rest, and we'll catch up with you later in the week. I'm on a slightly different program on Friday, the lunchtime program. So I'll give it a go on Friday lunchtime and see if you're available. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine. I've got absolutely no idea where I'm going to be.
No, fair enough.
My time's all over at the moment, but that'd be fantastic. Yeah, it's always good to catch up. It just keeps me in touch with home as well somehow. It's a nice feeling.
Well, I can tell you
ever so much.
I can tell you that the Exeter Canal looked fantastic. So did the Ex-Estuary today. The sun was shining. It was beautiful. So, you know.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I love what I'm doing, but home is home, isn't it? And Devon is, God, they're so lucky, I'm so lucky down there.
But you enjoy it because, you got some good weather now, so you deserve it.
Thanks, Vic.
Brilliant. I'll speak to you later in the week.
Yeah, take care of yourself. Thank you.
Alistair Cope, the extraordinary Alistair Cope, who's cycling and canoeing from Edinburgh to Exmouth, just this side of Nottingham now. And if you want to keep up to date and find out why he's doing it, you can go to his website, www.papete.co.uk, www.papete.co.uk. Extraordinary stuff. Also extraordinary stuff. Win Scar. Good evening to you, Win